Men, especially those with a keen sense of observation, subconsciously pick up on a woman's micro-expressions, those fleeting facial movements that reveal true emotions. A slight twitch of the mouth can signal discomfort. Raised eyebrows might mean surprise or curiosity. Even subtle shifts in tone convey more than words. Women often believe they can mask emotions, but men notice inconsistencies between spoken words and true feelings. Peterson often discusses how humans, as social beings, are wired to detect authenticity. A woman's posture speaks volumes before she even utters a word. Men notice if a woman carries herself with confidence or slouches. Open, relaxed body language is inviting, while crossed arms suggest defensiveness. A natural sway while walking signals grace and self-assurance. Peterson frequently emphasizes dominance hierarchies and status signals. How a woman moves communicates her self-perception, which men pick up on instinctively. Women often assume that men don't notice small aesthetic changes. While they may not comment, they do perceive them. A slight variation in hairstyle catches attention. A new perfume lingers in memory. Even changes in how a woman does her makeup subtly shift attraction dynamics. From an evolutionary psychology standpoint, these signals play a role in mate selection. A man may not articulate why he finds a look more appealing, but he senses it nonetheless. Men watch how women interact with those around them: waitstaff, strangers, friends. Is she kind and respectful, or dismissive and entitled? Does she maintain composure in stressful situations? Is she genuinely warm or performative in her kindness? Peterson often discusses conscientiousness as a key personality trait. A woman's treatment of others reflects her character and long-term compatibility potential. Men notice more than just what a woman says. They notice how she engages in conversation. Does she genuinely listen or just wait for her turn to speak? Does she make eye contact and react thoughtfully? Does she bring intellectual curiosity or just surface-level chatter? According to Peterson, meaningful relationships thrive on deep communication. A woman's ability to engage authentically leaves a lasting impression. Men instinctively pick up on small signs of interest, even when women don't realize they're giving them. Playing with hair or adjusting clothing, mirroring his movements subconsciously, tilting her head slightly while listening. These non-verbal cues tap into evolutionary psychology, indicators of attraction that are wired into human behavior. Confidence is often the most attractive quality a woman can display. Does she carry herself with self-assurance or constantly seek validation? Does she embrace her uniqueness or downplay her strengths? Does she exude a quiet certainty about who she is? Peterson frequently discusses the importance of responsibility and self-respect. Women who own their identity rather than mold themselves to external expectations naturally command attention. Here's an in-depth exploration of 7 things women have no idea men notice about them, inspired by Jordan Peterson's insights on psychology, attraction, and human behavior. Micro-expressions and emotional cues. Men, especially those with a keen sense of observation, subconsciously pick up on a woman's micro-expressions, those fleeting facial movements that reveal true emotions. A slight twitch of the mouth can signal discomfort. Raised eyebrows might mean surprise or curiosity. Even subtle shifts in tone convey more than words. Women often believe they can mask emotions, but men notice inconsistencies between spoken words and true feelings. Peterson often discusses how humans, as social beings, are wired to detect authenticity. Posture and body language. A woman's posture speaks volumes before she even utters a word. Men notice if a woman carries herself with confidence or slouches. Open, relaxed body language is inviting, while crossed arms suggest defensiveness. A natural sway while walking signals grace and self-assurance. Peterson frequently emphasizes dominance hierarchies and status signals. Men notice whether a woman appreciates the little things. A simple "thank you" goes a long way. Gratitude signals emotional intelligence and maturity. It makes a man feel valued rather than taken for granted. Men subconsciously assess whether a woman is self-sufficient or overly dependent. Does she have her own passions and ambitions? Can she handle challenges on her own, or does she rely on others for everything? Balance between independence and partnership is key. A deep dive into male perception and female behavior. Men are often perceived as being less observant than women, but the truth is that they notice far more than they let on. Many women assume that men only focus on surface-level traits, but subtle details, body language, personality quirks, and emotional cues play a significant role in attraction and long-term compatibility. Dr. Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist and professor, has spoken extensively about human behavior, evolutionary psychology, and the dynamics between men and women. He often emphasizes that men are highly attuned to specific social and biological signals, even if they aren't always able to articulate them. Here's a detailed breakdown of the 7 things men notice about women that often go unrecognized. Men may not always express emotions as openly as women, but they are deeply sensitive to non-verbal signals that reveal true feelings. When a woman's smile is genuine versus forced, men can sense the difference. A momentary flicker of disapproval, disappointment, or excitement doesn't go unnoticed. Eye movements, the tone of voice, and subtle facial tension all convey more than words. Many women believe they can hide their emotions, but men, especially those who are emotionally intelligent, pick up on inconsistencies. Jordan Peterson has discussed how human beings are wired to recognize patterns, making men subconsciously aware of these cues, whether a woman's reactions are authentic or performative. If she's genuinely engaged in a conversation or just being polite. If her emotions align with her words. When they don't, men sense the incongruity. A woman's posture communicates more than she realizes. Confidence versus insecurity is evident in how she carries herself. Anshakya, open stance, signals comfort, while crossed arms or slouching suggest discomfort or defensiveness. Eye contact and movement patterns reveal confidence, interest, or distraction. Jordan Peterson has frequently discussed dominance hierarchies and how body language is a major indicator of self-perception. The way a woman moves can unconsciously influence how attractive she appears to men. If a woman walks with purpose and grace, or hesitates in her movements, whether she leans in when interested or pulls away when disengaged, if she mirrors his gestures, a subconscious sign of attraction. Women often assume men don't notice small, aesthetic changes, but they do, just not always in obvious ways. A new hairstyle or slight color change can catch attention. A different perfume can create a subconscious shift in perception. Even small changes in makeup or clothing style register on some level. Evolutionary psychology suggests that these details matter because they signal health, fertility, and self-care. Key factors in subconscious mate selection. When a woman puts extra effort into her appearance, if she carries herself differently when she feels attractive, whether she's consistent or experimental with her style. Men don't just assess how a woman treats them. They also observe how she interacts with other people. How does she talk to waitstaff or cashiers? Is she kind and patient? Or does she act entitled? Does she respect boundaries? Or does she overstep them? Jordan Peterson has spoken extensively about the importance of agreeableness in personality psychology. While kindness is attractive, too much agreeableness can signal a lack of assertiveness, while rudeness or entitlement can be a red flag. If a woman's kindness is genuine or performative, whether she respects other people's time and effort, if she remains composed in stressful situations, or becomes easily irritated. Men don't just listen to What me sure, a woman says, they pay attention to how she engages. Does she actively listen? Or does she just wait for her turn to speak? Is she genuinely interested in the conversation? Or just being polite? Does she ask thoughtful questions? Or keep things superficial? Many women believe that men only focus on the obvious, looks, physical attraction, or surface-level traits. But in reality, men are far more observant than they let on. They pick up on subtle details, emotional cues, and behavioral patterns that shape their perception of a woman. Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist, frequently discusses human behavior, personality dynamics, and evolutionary psychology. His insights reveal that attraction is not just physical, it's deeply rooted in subconscious observations about personality, confidence, and emotional stability. This guide dives deeper into the things women often overlook, but that men absolutely notice. Some women light up a space just by walking into it. Their energy, presence, and body language communicate far more than words ever could. A woman who walks with confidence naturally draws attention. A woman who moves with grace and fluidity is perceived as attractive. The way she interacts with her surroundings, relaxed or nervous, matters. Jordan Peterson frequently discusses dominance hierarchies and how body language communicates self-worth. Women who move with certainty and ease radiate an unspoken attractiveness. If she carries herself confidently or seems unsure, whether her movements feel natural or forced, how her energy shifts the atmosphere in social settings. The difference between genuine and fake smiles. A smile is one of the most powerful non-verbal cues a woman can give, but men can tell when it's authentic versus performative. A genuine smile involves the eyes crinkling slightly, showing true happiness. A forced smile is only in the mouth, with tension in the face. An awkward or insincere smile is a giveaway of discomfort or detachment. Men pick up on these details, even if they don't consciously think about them. When a woman smiles out of politeness versus joy, if she has a naturally warm expression or is putting on a front, whether she smiles differently around different people, a sign of social adaptability. Her relationship with herself, confidence versus self-doubt. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities in both men and women. But there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, between self-assurance and self-doubt. If a woman is comfortable in her own skin or constantly seeking validation, whether she owns her opinions or shifts them to please others, if she walks into a room with quiet self-assurance or seems hesitant. Jordan Peterson often emphasizes personal responsibility and self-respect. A woman who is at peace with herself naturally commands respect and attention, if she embraces her strengths or minimizes them, whether she handles criticism well or gets defensive, if she can be alone without needing constant attention. How she talks about herself and others. A woman's words reveal more than she realizes. Men pay attention to how she describes herself. Is she confident or self-deprecating? Whether she talks positively or negatively about people behind their backs. If she focuses on solutions or just complains about problems. Jordan Peterson often speaks about the importance of taking ownership of one's life. A woman who blames others for everything signals emotional immaturity, while one who takes responsibility for her choices is deeply attractive. If she uplifts others or constantly criticizes them, whether she sees herself as a victim or takes charge of her life, if her conversations are balanced or overly negative, her ability to maintain mystery and intrigue. Men are drawn to women who have depth, who aren't immediately an open book. A woman who reveals everything too quickly may come off as lacking depth. A woman who hints at deeper layers over time keeps a man intrigued. A sense of mystery and independence is naturally captivating. Jordan Peterson often talks about the balance between predictability and excitement in relationships. The most interesting people have layers to discover over time. If she shares everything too soon or lets the connection build naturally, whether she has personal passions and ambitions beyond relationships. If she keeps an air of curiosity and adventure in her life, her emotional stability and how she handles challenges. Emotional intelligence is a huge factor in attraction. Men pay attention to how she reacts to stress, with composure or chaos, whether she blames others or takes responsibility in tough situations, if she seeks healthy solutions or engages in drama. Peterson frequently discusses resilience and responsibility as indicators of maturity. Men instinctively seek women who can handle life's challenges with grace. If she lets small problems ruin her mood, whether she reacts impulsively or thinks before acting, if she can find humor and perspective in difficulties. Final thoughts. Men notice more than you think. Men may not always verbalize these observations, but they register them on a deep, subconscious level. Men are highly perceptive about emotions, confidence, and body language. Authenticity, emotional stability, and depth are far more attractive than superficial traits. A woman's self-perception, energy, and values shape how she's seen. Men notice how a woman responds when they express admiration or affection. Does she deflect compliments or accept them gracefully? Does she seem genuinely happy or uncomfortable? Is her reaction consistent, or does it change based on her mood?